6th Vlogmas video. Last night, I watched The Lost Boys. I also painted my nails. I tried to show it off, but how pretty. I have been having so much fun with Kelli's new Orly collection. It's called Witching Hour and it came out during Halloween, so I thought it was the perfect time to use it during my Halloween December. But before we get into my review of The Lost Boys, I have two very exciting announcements. Number one, I'm on Cameo. If you're interested in purchasing a Cameo from me, the link is in my description. I'm also posting it all over Instagram, all over Twitter. So yeah, officially on Cameo. Very excited about that. And I did purchase myself a P.O. box, but I have to go into the post office tomorrow with a form to confirm it or whatever. So right now it's pending. I don't have like the number for it, but once I do, I will let y'all know on Instagram and Twitter. So follow me there if you want information on my P.O. box. Because I've just had a bunch of people interested in sending me things to sign. So I wanted to have a place where people could send me some stuff. All right, into my review of The Lost Boys. I loved it. Oh man, I knew I was gonna love The Lost Boys and I definitely did. I have to say though, I went in knowing nothing about it and just sort of having the David pop for reference, which thank you everyone on Twitter who responded to my tweet. I posted a tweet of him because I didn't know who he was and y'all came back with a ton of responses confirming it is David from The Lost Boys because I truly had no idea. And yeah, going into it only having seen Kiefer Sutherland as David and knowing nothing about it except that it was a vampire movie, I instantly was in love with him and I said, I know I'm gonna have a crush on him as soon as I see him, which I did, but I was sad to learn that he was actually the villain. But I guess in the 80s, in like regards to vampire films, vampires were typically the villains. You know, when we got into the 2000s, we got more into the Twilight era vampire age where it was more like vampire romance, which I feel like is the vampire genre I am more familiar with, but that's okay. You know, I guess Michael was supposed to be more of the heartthrob. Michael and Star, you know, they were the heartthrobs of the film. Not so much Kiefer Sutherland as David, but as Kelli has pointed out on our podcast a few times, I'm definitely into villains. So upon watching, yeah, still into David. That would still be my crush of the film. Because you gotta have a crush of the film, otherwise what's the point of watching? But yeah, I really liked it. I really, really liked it. I would for sure watch it again. Kelli texted me when she saw I pulled that pop and she was like, we have to watch it together. And I was like, I'm watching it tonight, but I can guarantee that I'm gonna wanna watch it again. So now that's on our list for me and Kelli to watch it together. And speaking of Kelli, I've got a fun little video idea today. I mentioned in my last video I wanted to do some stuff with tarot. I myself do not read tarot cards, but when I moved into my last apartment, I pulled a card from my friend's deck and I sort of wanted to keep that mantra throughout the year. I decided I'm carrying that mantra into 2023 because I still think it pertains and I still think it's something I can get a lot out of. So I'm gonna read you that a little bit later, and I have actually put it on my wall as decoration, which I showed in my vlog where I put up my gallery wall in my living room. So I'll link that in the cards if you are interested in checking out that. But I didn't finish the artwork for the wall, so I thought I could read you the card, work on that artwork, and also, back to Kelli, I have this tarot card that came in the Witching Hour collection, and there's a QR code on the back to unlock a secret tarot reading. So I'm gonna get a new reading from Kelli, and I'll come back and talk to y'all about it. I think tarot is so fun. It's a really good way to get your mind thinking about certain things that you maybe need to work through, and whether you believe in it or not, just like the crystals that we've been opening, I think it's a good time. But speaking of the crystals, we need to open both of the advent calendars actually. So we'll start with our normal Funko Pop calendar, day number 6. Oh, I just opened it and I didn't show you the calendar, but sorry, my bad. We opened door number 6 just now. Ooh, pops on the floor, let me get it. Ooh, it's a classic. It's The Exorcist. That's awesome. So for next vlog, come back to hear my thoughts on The Exorcist, one I've never seen, but I've always wanted to. So yeah, we'll start next video talking about The Exorcist. And before I get into tarot later tonight, let's open our crystal for the day. I'll remember to show you this one, door number 11 we're on. This one's kind of a gray color. Maybe it's lapis lazuli. Leadership, virtues, high moral values, truth, creativity, and communication. This one I'm not sure of at all. It's very gray. I don't know. I might have to come back with a clearer answer on this one because as of right now, I'm not sure. But I've got some stuff to do today. I'm doing some work today with Marissa for Late Bloomer Pictures, so that's on the docket. Excited stuff coming from that company. And yeah, then when I get some time this afternoon, we'll do our tarot. So that was so fun. I did the little tarot reading using Kelli's card, and essentially she just like lays out 5 cards and then I pick one and I go to the corresponding timestamp. In the video with like the cards laid out, she had all these like little pretty crystals. And so I picked the card that had like the crystal that was speaking to me the most. And I pulled the 9 of Cups, which Kelli says means that everything in my life is coming together. I've worked really hard and now is a time to celebrate my accomplishments. And I thought that was such a great card to pull, you know, like I think a lot of the times I need to be reminded about how hard I work and how I'm seeing sort of my dreams coming together before me. And it's so easy to just be like, okay, what's next? What's next? Let's keep working. Like we're just climbing up the mountain. We're not there yet. We still have so much to do. But I really think it's important in your life a lot of the time to sit back and reflect and say, I've accomplished so much and I'm doing so well. And I need to appreciate that and feel gratitude rather than just like fully always pushing forward to the next thing. Of course, it's always good to have forward momentum, but it's also good to take a moment to breathe and reflect and be proud of yourself for where you are. So yeah, that's what I love about tarot. Like I feel like you pull a card and your reading gets explained to you. And it's sort of like whatever comes to top of your mind is what you were supposed to be thinking about for that day. So today I am excited to just appreciate where I am and be happy for everything I've accomplished. But that is not the only reading that we have for today. We have another one. Back when I moved into my apartment in Brooklyn with my old roommate, our friends came over and my friend Michael brought a tarot deck and we pulled cards, and I pulled the self-love card, which has this beautiful peacock on it. And I think it looks so good on my wall, but I never took a picture of the little guidebook that Michael had sort of explaining the card. And so I think the meaning was a little lost on me after a while. You know, I had the memory in my head of what the card meant, but I thought it would be really great as just a reminder for this card that I really enjoyed pulling and I thought at that time spoke to me a lot. I thought it'd be cool to, you know, have it as an art piece on my wall. So I had Michael send me the blurb about it, and I'm going to draw something for it, pull out a sentence or two that means something for me and add it to this piece that I have on the wall. I'll probably design it on my iPad using Procreate, and then I can get it printed wherever you print stuff, which I have to figure out, I guess. But let me read it to you. Self-love, which is something important to have, by the way. Loving oneself is one of the larger concepts that is difficult to truly integrate. We are conditioned from birth to doubt ourselves, compare, deny, or minimize our gifts, hide ourselves away, and change who we are. This brainwashing is crippling. We become adults who have to fight to remember ourselves. We recognize the importance of loving and accepting ourselves, but releasing those voices and negative tapes that play in our head can feel impossible. Beyond that, we often decide we need to love ourselves in order to achieve something, i.e., I need to love myself so I can attract a partner. To truly love oneself is to do so without any expectations or hopeful outcomes. The relationship with oneself is the most intimate relationship we will ever have, and it is a daily endeavor. Rather than viewing self-love as a day of pampering or fighting that which is holding you back, let all of it fall away for a few moments. Ask your heart, body, and spirit when you wake up, what do you need from me? How can I support you? What will nurture you? How can I deepen my relationship with you? Continue to check in with yourself throughout the day. I love that. That's so important. Like, you know, that saying like, no one will love me until I love myself. I feel like in a way can be kind of harmful because you're saying like, I am unworthy of love until I like conquer this feat of loving myself. Because I think loving yourself is a daily struggle. It's not something that you click into one day and then automatically you just feel great all the time. You know, know, like I go through phases all the time where I'm so hyped on myself. I'm my biggest hype girl. And then other days you just don't feel it. You know, you constantly have to check in with yourself. So it can really be damaging to say like, oh, you know, I'm not loving myself today. I'm not worthy of other people's love. And also this idea of like loving yourself with the expectations of gaining something from it. You should love yourself because you deserve it, not because you want to gain more, you know? And the thing is, like, on the days where I'm not so much loving myself, I'm not sitting there thinking, well, I guess nobody loves me today. I think the love of other people helps motivate me, inspires me to love myself. So yeah, I'm excited about that card and to have it as a mantra for the rest of the year. And as I said, the peacock was the symbol, so we can read that. Imagine seeing a peacock skulking around and hiding its colors and feathers. It wouldn't seem quite right. Anyone who has seen a peacock in real life will tell you that this is the opposite of what they do. They are incredibly aware of their majestic qualities and use it to their advantage. Peacock invites you to unearth the beauty and unique aspects of self that have been hidden away. Peacocks are not born with their beautiful colors. These grow in around 2 years of age. For humans, it is opposite. We are born in perfection. It is life that conditions us to forget it. Peacock is an ally for standing proudly in who you are. I think the peacock is a great representation for the year. I love that line about like knowing its majestic qualities. That's maybe the one I'll use for my artwork. We shall see. But let me know in the comments, is there anyone else here who's really into tarot? I myself don't think it's something I would ever be interested in learning how to read myself, but I do know that anytime I've been presented with tarot or had to pick a card or gotten a reading, I've always found it to be very insightful as a way to center yourself or find balance. So I'm glad I was able to share that with all of you and how the 2 cards that I pulled really speak to me and sort of what they unlocked in my brain. And I'm excited to go forward with these mantras in my head. I think this month in general has been a lot about recentering and using the crystals for that, and then uncentering myself by watching a ton of horror films. No, I have to say though, the bad dreams have not been as bad as I anticipated they might be. So far so good. I feel like The Exorcist might change that. But I'm going to get to drawing that artwork so I can show it to you before the vlog ends, and check back next week for some Exorcist. See you in the next one.
Let it go. 얼어붙어 like whoa. 띵하고 어지러워. I see. 한여름에도 넌 겨울. Yeah, yeah. 너와 있을 때 I swear. 제가 먼저 zero 폭설한 기출들. 꿈에도 I wasn't aware. 나만 빼고 넌 모두에게 참 친절해. 내 신감이 들어 단판이 돼도 머릿속을 흔드는 ibuprofen. 그만해, it's time to stop.